I went from earning $50,000 at my Big Four risk consulting job to earning over $110,000 when I switched my job to banking. Here's how I did it. Now, it's no secret that working for a Big Four accounting firm like your KPMGs, Deloittes, PwC, EYs will pay you significantly less than if you were to work at, for example, a banking industry, government agency, a mid-tier firm, or any other organization for that matter. This is simply due to the economics of supply and demand. These multinational corporations really have no shortage when it comes to applicants wanting to get hired and work for them at any cost, which is why we see lower salaries as compared to other industries. There are people in these organizations who are working longer hours, are much more stressed, all in the hopes of getting that name on their CV, getting that recognition, getting that reputable organization listed will eventually help them later down the track in securing a higher paying job and getting better working conditions and flexible arrangements. This is exactly what I believed and I did at the time as well. I worked within the internal audit / risk consulting division at KPMG, where I started off as a graduate and I worked there for 2.5 years. After 2.5 years, I believed that I was worthy enough to become promoted, so I applied. However, this didn't go my way and I actually rage applied. Now, rage applying is when you become so frustrated, so burnt out with your job and your boss that you furiously go out of your way to apply for as many jobs as possible. Now, I've got a YouTube video detailing why exactly I quit my Big Four job, entailing all the nitty-gritty corporate politics involved. So if you are interested in watching that, I will leave that down below for you to check out. I've also got a news article which was published about me, so if you're interested in reading that, I'll make sure to have it linked down below, all about rage applying. So whether you're looking to get a pay rise or a promotion at your current role, or you're looking to switch up your industry or switch up your job completely, this will definitely yield better results in terms of pay and working for a similar workload and role. Then make sure you follow these rules. 1. Make sure you ask for pay rises and promotions throughout the year and not just when it comes time to your annual performance review. I remember working at KPMG, we had a system called acting up, whereby you could act up in a role that is higher than what you're currently doing and take up tasks and projects to act in a senior position. So for example, if you're a consultant, you could be acting up as a senior consultant and prove your worthiness, so that when it does come time to annual review or even before, then you can prove to them that you are worthy of that promotion. There might be a similar initiative at your workplace, so make sure you find out. There'll be so many people that are asking for promotions at the end of the year, so you want to avoid that at all costs because the odds will be against you. Another thing to note as well during your annual review time is to note your pay increases. I think bare minimum should be 7%, and if you are getting a salary increase, then it should be above the 7% or inflation threshold. So about 10% would be something that I would negotiate. Secondly, ask for what you're worth. Ensure you've done your research. This means having a look online to see similar roles that you're currently working and what they're getting paid in other organizations. You need to make sure it's a similar role with the same experience and a similar level of skill set to ensure that it is a fair comparison. And this is where you can bring those job listings to your meeting and discuss it with your manager. You can even log on to LinkedIn and you can have a look at the pay grade that is available for your industry and your role, and you can compare this to what you're currently getting paid. This will also prove to your employer that you're serious about working and taking the lead in terms of your career prospects and growth. Obtain feedback. This is crucial in ensuring you get a promotion. It's important that any task or any project that you work on, you get feedback from senior managers that you've worked with on that project to vouch for you when it does come time for promotion, so that they can attest for you that you have the required skill set, you've got the required training as well to fulfill that role for a senior level promotion. I wasn't the best at doing this, and when it came time to performance review, it would be very hard to recall what you had done and what projects you had worked on, and then to go out and ask for that feedback is a very lengthy and very stressful process. So you want to make sure you're doing it while you can, or at the end of each review or each project, because that manager is also going to have other employees as well asking for a review, and you want feedback that is actually accurate and reliable. Resort to LinkedIn. If all else fails, then what you can do is you can actually open up your LinkedIn profile and say that you are open for work and make this visible to recruiters only. This will ensure that any recruiter out there that is looking for a job that is similar to your LinkedIn profile will actually hit you up and message you privately, and you may actually even see whether you are suitable for the role or not. You're also able to increase your job ad alerts on LinkedIn as well, just by toggling on that feature. And don't worry, your employer won't actually see this because it's only open to recruiters. Contact your secondment managers. If nothing seems to be working right at your current organization, then reach out to the managers that you've worked for other organizations during your secondments. This is actually what I did in securing my new job in my new role with a higher title and a higher pay. So what you can do is reach out to your managers, ask them if there are any job availabilities that are open, and if so, they will then consider you for the role, and they know how you have worked because you have worked on secondments working for the other organization. So they trust you, they understand your abilities, your experience, and your skill set. One of the managers from my secondment actually reached out to a recruiting agency who then reached out to me to ask me if I wanted that role. So that really just worked out perfectly in that time. Next, put yourself first and take the next step. If you find that you're not being treated well at work, or you're not getting recognized for the work that you do, then pursuing that same job will only hold you back in terms of your career and career growth. Take the initiative, explore new roles, explore new opportunities, because at the end of the day, you are the driver of your life and your career. After securing my higher paying job at another organization within the banking industry, I was told by my previous employer that in fact I did actually get promoted, and they were offering me a promotion. However, I had believed that the damage had already been done, and I was happy to change jobs because I was getting a far higher salary increase, and I was also getting a promotion, not only one level up but 2 levels up in terms of a managerial role. And finally, remember to switch jobs every 2 to 3 years. If it's not switching organizations completely, make sure you do switch positions or teams so that you are being challenged, you are learning different skill sets, and it's not your daily mundane, activity that will eventually lead to boredom, and it will eventually eat away at your potential of growing at your organization or your growth at work. It's important to have new opportunities, new challenges, change the environment, change the team up. And that is where, when we become uncomfortable with what we're doing, we're not used to a routine, that is in fact where we're going to see ourselves grow the most. So all links to the video I mentioned in this video will be linked down below, and the news article as well. Until then, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.